Hey everybody, and welcome to the BullSheepParty. And in this one we're gonna be reviewing the... Oh, wait. I have to buy it first. Anyways, after a quick visit to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website, we're gonna be purchasing the Dominator GTT. In my opinion, one of the coolest vehicles added to the game. And in this video we're gonna be taking an in-depth look into it, and ultimately we're gonna be answering the question, is it worth it? Especially for 1.2 million. And in case you're wondering, the trade-in price is there if you've progressed through the story of the DLC, which I haven't. Anyhow, a quick cut later, here is the Dominator GTT in all of its glory. And just like I usually do, first we're gonna start with the 360 around the vehicle while I'll give you some facts about it. First off, I believe its inspiration is the 1968 to 1969 Ford Mustang GT Fastback, which, in my opinion, is one of the best looking vehicles ever produced. As for the interactivity of this vehicle, I'm very happy to say that you can open all doors, which is 2 of them. You can open the hood and the trunk. And speaking of the hood, look what lies underneath it. That's just some cool attention to detail right there. As for the rest of the vehicle, the detail is present everywhere that I can see. I love the taillights, I love the trim on the side, and I love the circle mirrors. So far the exterior is looking good, but I wonder, what does the interior look like? And I believe this interior is completely new and unique to this vehicle, and that actually suits it rather well. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. As for the way the GTT sounds, you be the judge. And yes, it doesn't sound great, but let's see after we customize it. And in case you were wondering, yes, you can do wheelies with it, even though that was pretty pathetic. But let's try it again after we fully upgrade it. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. Duh. And with all that useful and kind of useless information out of the way, it's time to go to Los Santos Customs. But first, let's check out the interactivity menu, which the game just told me about. And if you've been playing GTA Online for a while, then all of these options are new to you. And yes, you can change the stance of your vehicle on the go, but I found that a little bit later and I'm gonna show it in the video after we exit Los Santos Customs. But for now, let's just go to Los Santos Customs first of all. And on our way there, I'm gonna be sharing with you my thoughts of the stock version of the GTT. And yes, this is just for me, it's not related to the video, I just wanted to go to the car meet afterwards. I know, garbage review, blah 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 blah. Probably right though. But back to the vehicle that we're reviewing. And in case the hints weren't there for you, this is a muscle car and it behaves like one. And in case you're wondering, yes, it does have 2 sets of headlights, one high beam and one normal beam or whatever it's called. As for the way the vehicle performs and behaves, I have so much to say about it. First off, let me start by saying that I love muscle cars in GTA and in real life. So I'm pretty familiar with their shortcomings. Tail happy, not very good brakes, stuff like that. That said, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure because I don't look at graphs and this is a brand new vehicle, I believe that this might be the fastest muscle car in the game. And yes, I might be wrong about this and I might be wearing my rose-colored glasses, but this vehicle behaves superbly. And keep in mind I'm talking about the stock version of it with the default stance. Handling is great, acceleration is great, top speed is decent, and the brakes are surprisingly, well, present. And with that glowing review, let's go into Los Santos Customs and see what we can customize on this brand new vehicle.
What's wrong with her now?
And before we get to customizing, as always, the first thing that I'm gonna do is upgrade all the performance options up front. This way I don't forget anything and things like this don't happen. And yes, I wasn't prepared for that. Usually, customization like this is only available at Benny, so I was really out of my element here. But don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not complaining, I'm actually really excited about it. And I finally was able to find the engine tune thingy. So let's just go down the list and make sure I don't forget anything in terms of performance. And now is probably a good time to ask you to please like the video because it does take a lot of effort to make, even though it doesn't seem like it. But I promise you it does take a lot of effort. Anyhow, we're done with the upgrades and now it's time to customize. And the first thing we're gonna customize is the front bumper, followed by the rear bumper. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just a sucker for chrome bumper, so I'm gonna leave it as is. And the next customization option is the engine. itself. Now, although I really appreciate Rockstar putting in the effort and giving us a lot of customization, I don't see the point in changing the engine, especially for $45,000. And in case you're wondering, no, the engine note does not change regardless of which option you go with. And I'm gonna talk about the engine note when we exit Los Santos Customs, but I wasn't very happy with what we got afterwards. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, let's just be thankful to the Rockstar gods for giving us some customization options, even though it costs an arm and a leg. And chances are that nobody's gonna be able to tell and see it. So it's kind of, you know, pointless. But anyway, this is a positive review, and here are all the exhaust options, and no, the performance does not change regardless of which one you go with. So I decided to go with the chrome tip. Tip. As for the fenders, just like the rest of the customization on this vehicle, there's plenty of choices, but I only like the one, you know? Next up, we have the grille option, and it's more of the same. Several options, and just one that I like. And I know this is super subjective, but I'm only talking about myself, because I am making the video after all. And now we're on the headlight cover option, and once again you have several options. Actually, you have a lot of options, but only one that I like, the stock one. I'm curious to know, is it the same for you guys as well? Do you see all the options and there's just one that you gravitate towards and you just hate the other ones? Or is that just me? Anyhow, currently we're on the hood options, and actually this is the exception to the rule. I like several of those, and I mean I really like them. And don't worry, it doesn't change any of the performance stats regardless of which option you go with. And the same can be said about the seat. Actually, this is kind of a pointless one, but I'm gonna showcase it anyway since the vehicle was just released. But if you ask me, just, you know, save your money on this one. And the same can be said about the steering wheel. $20,000 for a new steering wheel that nobody's gonna be able to see unless you're playing in first person, which is kind of horrible. And once again, the roll cage is as well only decorative, so don't even bother in my opinion. There are no extra or new light options, so let's just go to the livery and show you what we have. And in case this is your first BullSheepParty video, welcome, and I hate liveries. There, I said it. And yes, I know it looks cool on some cars, but let's be honest, it's mostly horrible. Case in point. So anyway, we're gonna go without a livery and go to the louvers. And I'm actually really disappointed to say that regardless of which one you go with, it doesn't impact the traction bar, which is kind of sad. But don't be too sad, because even though the skirts don't impact the traction bar either, they look awesome. Well, it's not really a skirt, it's a side vent type of thing, but you get my point. It's awesome. But the one thing that does impact the traction bar is the spoiler. And it doesn't really matter which one you go with. Actually, it really doesn't matter which one you go with. But if you decide to change the spoiler on this car, you're gonna have an increased traction bar. Hooray! And I think I just bumped into the mic, but sorry about that, headphone users. Be more careful about your choice of entertainment next time. And I'm very happy to say that we have a suspension setting on this one. And yes, I'm looking at you, Toreador. You suck. I'm gonna keep the stock wheels as they are because I actually really like them. As for the window tint option, we're gonna go with the light smoke. And after that's done, it's time to respray the vehicle. And starting off with the primary color, let's go with something metallic and a little bit lighter. Because even though I like how the car looks black, I'm sure that most of you, if not all of you, are gonna make yours black. So I decided to make mine yellow. Yeah, there you have it. It's like a Camaro. As for the secondary color, I decided to go with midnight purple, and yeah, I actually quite like the vehicle. What's that? Garbage review? Ha ha ha. I know, sorry. And the last two customization options that we're gonna look at in this video are the trim color, which is, okay, I can sort of see the value in that. I mean, it's kind of visible through the windows, but the color of the gauges is something that's, yeah, I really can't justify that.
Hey dude, look at my pink gauges, bro!
I'm sorry about that. Let's get out of Los Santos Customs. And here we are. What a fine evening it is in Los Santos. And once again, I just wanted to showcase the lights of this vehicle, which I believe are really cool. And secondly, I wanted to go through the interaction menu and go back to the vehicle stance option. And this is what I was referring to earlier when I said that you can lower your vehicle at will whenever you want to. It's really cool, although I don't see myself using it, but yeah, it's cool. The vehicle sound does not change, but its performance does. And I'm actually really happy to say that Los Santos Customs did it good. Traction is better, acceleration is much better, and the top speed is decent. Fully upgraded, I definitely don't think that it's the best vehicle in its category anymore, but it's so much fun that I can't really not recommend it. Actually, let me rephrase that. Go buy this vehicle. It's awesome. Especially if you're like me and you really like muscle cars. You just owe it to yourself. Whoops. And in case you're wondering, yes, you're able to do everything in Los Santos Customs, and no, you don't need the new extra padded garage that's available only in the DLC. And yes, I did purchase it. But back to the GTT, it's an awesome car that you cannot go wrong with. I'd say, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go get it. But chances are you already did that. And with that, we're gonna be ending the video. Thank you so much to everybody that watched. Hopefully you liked what you saw. If that's the case, I just said what I am asking you to do. And with all that said and done, I'll catch you all in the next one. Open sesame! Oh, that's cool.